Adley is in charge of show, but we kind of both did show, but she's mostly in charge of show. I go to her, you know.
Well, I don't know if we ever actually mentioned it, but show was originally thought up by Gesso.
Yeah.
Just Jess.
Yeah, apparently it's Gesso. I thought it was Gesso for like the whole time, but then she told me it's Gesso. So
yeah, same. Gotta get used to it.
So yeah, it is hard to get used to. But originally, Show was her character when we first came in. Yeah, I forgot about that, and then it was transferred to us.
Yeah, I think he was from when it was just a school thing at first.
Which we haven't talked about, actually. We didn't talk about how this progressed, and I think that's something that they'd be interested in hearing.
Yeah, I have mentioned it to a few people that actually asked. But it started, well, I don't know, one day we just went, well, let's make a game.
Yeah, pretty much.
Gesso wanted,
whatever you want to call her, it's fine, I'm sure.
Cho wanted to do it as a school thing. I can't remember if she wanted to have it as a high school thing at first. Can't remember.
Yeah, it was a high school thing, and then I was like, I want to have it older so we can do more. So then we went to like college or university.
Yeah, and school was kind of been there.
Yeah, done it a lot. So
everyone does school, just school, high school, and sometimes you just wanna escape school.
Right. I mean, and that's one good thing that university age is good about, because they don't have to be there. They have classes at any time. They can have side jobs and stuff. And when you're stuck in high school, it's pretty much you have to be there in school, go home. It's really strict. It really limits you. But these people, you know, they're choosing to pursue their degree. So, like, for instance, and I don't want to spoil it, but one of our characters ends up dropping out of college, and that's already out, so you've already seen that. You probably know who I'm talking about, but so we don't have to have them in school if we don't want to. We have more room with the plot, do what we want.
Well, it's not a huge spoiler, but in Shinji's, they're in school, but not that often. I mean, they're university students. They don't necessarily have to go, especially if something's happening, something important,
right.
Or they have to travel somewhere or something. So,
or if they get sick or miss school, it's not a big deal, because a lot of people, sometimes they don't come to class or whatever. So in Tetsuya's route, MC constantly, she missed a couple days at some point because she was just, at his house, and we could do that. But with high school, it's just so much more awkward. You can't really have the character go stay at someone else's house, without her parents' permission or whatever. It's just so much more strict. So it was a good.
And the whole underage thing.
Right, that gets weird. So we were really limited by school, but at the same time, having the university helped us get the characters together, giving them a reason to be together. But that was just kind of like our starting point, and a lot of people don't know that there's so much more story beyond that. Like, they start in school, they start with a prologue, but there's so much more story, which people find out later, beyond the school setting.
There's a very huge world outside that.
Right.
And even not worlds, actually, so.
Right.
And, well, it's in the plot, this summary thing on Steam, and I'm not sure if that many people even read it, but me saying it isn't exactly a spoiler because it's out there, but right. You do get to see a different realm entirely, not even, Avalon. I'm not going to say whose realm it is yet, but you do get to. Actually, I think it was mentioned.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that it was mentioned in Tetsuya's route. Hikaru and Katsunosuke, they were talking about it, and it is kind of vaguely mentioned the troubles that are happening in that realm, and that leads into Shinji's route.
Yeah, well, we do pepper in all sorts of hints, and sometimes the hints are just. Not anything that's gonna happen anytime soon.
Right.
Or just sort of hints towards the bigger world and what's out there that you might not necessarily see for now. It's not like we're gonna drop the world after one game. It is
Right.
so yeah.
That's
And I think Jesso's gonna actually tease one of the backgrounds from Avalon soon enough.
right. Our backgrounds, like, I don't know how, it just seems like they're even more beautiful now. I mean, our background artist, she just does a really great job every time you tell her to do something, and they're just like, this is the first time we've been able to have like actual fantasy, just like pure fantasy backgrounds, and they're really beautiful, and I can't wait for everyone to see them.
Yeah, I actually can't wait to see the reactions towards that, because it's I had a lot of fun looking up references for that and just trying to think of how it might look, and also how to make it versatile so we could use it in different scenes, because the backgrounds are expensive.
Right.
And,
That's actually into the next question. This is, how do art and drawing concepts come together? That's kind of related to what we were just talking about. Like, we start with references. We think about what it looks like in our head, and then we try to find something, like through Google, like, what does this look like? Sometimes you need several references to make an image, and our background artist, she's really great at interpreting it. She pretty much just does exactly what we say, and it comes out beautifully.
Well, actually, the foxtail bar background, that was pretty much made, sort of meshed together from two separate backgrounds. One was just the perspective of it was really good, that's how I saw it, and the other was just the interior itself, how it should have looked, the dark walls and everything. So it was made from two different things. And I think the Avalon one actually was as well. It was two different things as well, for reference. So yeah.
That's what I did for Tetsuya's the palace background. I couldn't find anything. Like, there's not really actual Japanese like throne rooms like that are open. They're very tiny. Like, thrones are very tiny. So I ended up like meshing together like 2 or 3 backgrounds. And Jesso, she facilitates that between us and the background artist, because she understands things from an artist's point of view that we can't really communicate, because sometimes we're just really vague. We don't mean to be, but...
Well, luckily we have her, and we can
Right.
just say, we show her something and say, does this make sense? Do you understand this? And then she if it doesn't quite make sense, she translates it for us to
Artist
artists
terms.
speak.
Yeah. So that's really helpful. I guess she's just we've been working together so long, we've grown to understand roughly what the frame of mind that we're in. So we're like, oh yeah, I get what you're talking about. So she gets what we're talking about pretty quickly. Like, I show her a reference now. I mean, it wasn't like this at the beginning. It was pretty hard trying to get our ideas across to each other, because she's like this, and we're like, oh no, but we don't want to be annoying either. But basically it was a process. But now when I think about it, we've come a long way, because now we're just like, hey, like this picture, and she's like, oh yeah, I get what you're talking about, okay. And then she'll say like this, and we're like, yeah, that's perfect, that's even better than I imagined. So
Yeah, generally she has done this thing where you give her a character description of some sort, even not a description, just something very vague, super vague. Say for Mickey, Professor Hirayama, we haven't actually said her first name, but Shinji's mom, basically. Hers, she doesn't have a super detailed page. Her clothes descriptions were nothing about her. There wasn't a lot of things, but she just came out with this character that exceeded expectations, and she does this a lot. You give her something, and then she just does it better. So. Right.
I felt that way with Katsunosuke. Like, I had a vague idea of what he looked like, and then she showed him, and I'm like, yes, that is awesome, that is perfect. I don't know how.
I remember that moment, because I was just like, ooh.
Yeah, because that happens a lot too. Like, we see the designs and we're like, oh wow, he's hot. Like, we get into it too, you know. We are
fans of her work very much. I mean, we do see everything before anyone else, so, and we're pretty much her biggest fans because she kind of shows us her little like memes and just any random thing she does, and even those,
They're
even
awesome.
though, or she says doodle or sketch,
Yeah.
and
I'm like, really? That's a doodle? Okay, well, can we put this doodle in the art book? So you'll see a lot of her little extra things in the art book, what she allows us to. She's very particular, but she's grown to the point of trusting us with, which I really appreciate, with a lot of like in progress pictures and sketches and things. But we've seen her grow as an artist. Like even her in progress sketches are like really, really good. I'm like, wow, that looks finished. You know, she's like, no, it's not finished yet. I have to do like a million more things. And I'm like, no, that looks great. So,
yeah.
On her part, what she wanted to say about this question, which the question again was, how do art and drawing concepts come together? Skype or some other communication, or is it just individual work? Jess said, since the art is divided into 3 categories, sprites, backgrounds, and CGs, I'm going to talk a little bit about all 3. For the sprites, I would ask the writers on Google Hangouts. That's what we primarily use for all of our communications, Google Hangouts. I would ask the writers detailed questions about the characters, like their personalities and what they like to wear, etc. In most cases, Zell and Anna would provide descriptions and references, and sometimes I get to do what I want for side characters. Which basically what she means by that is we have a very vague idea, and we're like, you know what, just go with it, because we know it's going to come out good, and we just give a really vague idea, and we're like, yes. No.
Yeah, Emmy, like, she was really vague. I don't think there was even a proper personality.
Yeah, no, it was so vague that I made it up a little bit during writing. Like, I was just like, she has black hair, or something. So.
Well, she has pink hair now.
Right.
We should say that I don't know why she has pink hair. It just dyed?
Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, I showed her for Emmy. I guess it's okay to say this. I showed her Ramona Flowers from Scott Pilgrim versus the World, and I was just like, that kind of thing. And then she made it up on her own. I think she just wanted to do pink hair because nobody else had pink hair. She's really particular about not duplicating hair colors and things.
Speaking of pink hair, should clear this up once and for all. Shinji has purple hair, not pink hair. So just stop saying he has pink hair. It's purple.
I always thought of it as purple, so I never.
No, it is purple, but I've seen people.
Pink. You have to combine them like side by side. Definitely.
Yeah, well, I've seen people say that he has pink hair and calling him pink hair. No, that's actually purple.
Purple and red, right? Yeah, purple and red.
Yeah. At the tips, yeah.
Right.
He used to dye his hair red, so that's like leftover.
Right. Yeah, I remember specifically we said purple. So yeah, and she did that. She chooses like the exact shade sometimes of colors if we just like purple, but or blue like Tetsuya, she just chose the shade. But yeah, we say the actual word, the color. So, and we're particular about getting the characters right, like all of us. So. What else did she say? She said, for the backgrounds and CGs, it's a similar process where I would ask the writers what they want to see and add some of my ideas to it. I usually need to see the script or detailed descriptions of CG scenes before I start visualizing. We work with a contractor on backgrounds, so I just provide the background artist with some art direction, like what we were talking about. Mm-hmm. And that's what she had to say for that question.